They say the night has 1,000 eyes. Well, I say so does the daytime, because a combination of people on our streets and CCTV cameras means crimes are getting easier to spot.
It's the evening rush hour in York on a pleasant summer's day. Suddenly, something not so pleasant. An argument between two men boils over into the middle of the road and looks like it could turn nasty. But a council camera operator is watching it happen and immediately alerts the police. Until they arrive, he's their eyes on the scene. And when the fight escalates and one of the men pulls out a knife, the camera operator's evidence will turn out to be vital. The historic walled city of York is one of Britain's oldest. But in this ancient place, the authorities are using high-tech solutions to deal with 21st century problems.
Good afternoon, cameras. Right.
Have you got a direction of travel?
Christian Wood helps run this camera control room, which was set up by the City Council.
The cameras were initially installed for monitoring the city centre car parks. It expanded into traffic management, and beyond that they were useful for crime and disorder.
Message received. I'm monitoring now.
There are now 150 cameras in and around the city centre. They feed images back to the control room where operators monitor them round the clock.
I've been looking round all over, but still no sign of him over.
And these camera operators have a particularly close working relationship with the police.
The operators in the CCTV room have access to the police airwaves radio, which gives them direct contact with the police officers on the ground and in the force control room.
583 to camera room receiving.
Cameras receiving, go ahead.
Let you know I'm out of patrol in the city centre. If you see anything suspicious, let me know straight away, please.
Sergeant Martin Metcalf often works hand in hand with the camera operators to help keep the streets safe for the public.
Let me know and I'll come and sort them out.
Yeah, received on that, thank you.
To give a simple example of how they can work together, it's only a small misdemeanour by a young cyclist who doesn't dismount when he should, but it shows how quickly police and council can combine resources.
Are you going to get off your bike or what? What? You going to get off your bike? Good, good.
What?
It's a £50 fine.
Why is it?
£60 it is now.
I ain't even done out.
You've just gone past the sign saying pedestrian zone.
Oh.
I believe you.
Out.
Listen, stay off your bike, all right?
I'm off my bike.
No, stay off it then, all right? So what I'll do now is shout cameras up, and if he gets back on his bike, I'll just go around the corner and give him a ticket.
Martin generally lets most people off with a warning, but he has a feeling this youth won't stick to his word and has asked the camera control room to keep an eye on him.
Cameras to 583.
Go ahead. It disrupts their lifestyle.
Coming up behind you, riding his push bike.
Sure enough, busted. Martin gives the youth a caution. Not a major crime, but the systems are ready and waiting for more serious incidents if and when they happen.
The police love CCTV footage because it's an unbiased account of what happened. People can be mistaken or lie, but the camera doesn't lie.
The camera's ability to show the whole truth and nothing but the truth will prove useful with this next, more threatening incident. These two men know each other, but have fallen out big time over an unknown issue. Their argument is now raging in the street. Police are alerted, and Sergeant Mike Hewitt is heading to the scene.
As I'm on my way, I'm getting live updates from the council CCTV operator, which is brilliant.
The updates get increasingly alarming. At one point, the man in the black top draws a rolling pin out of his bag, but fortunately thinks better of it. Unfortunately, the more aggressive man in the white vest then goes to the woman he's with and wrestles something out of her bag. It's a Stanley knife. He charges after the other man once more. It's not just the cameras witnessing this violent exchange. Innocent bystanders get involved too. One man unsuccessfully tries to calm him down.
1930.
On the corner, this cyclist hears the men shouting as they get nearer to him.
I actually had my headphones in at the time, and I could hear the screams over my headphones. That's when they came around the corner, and that's when I witnessed what happened.
What happens is that the man in the white vest starts wildly slashing the knife at the other man.
The thing that was going through my head was, I hope that this guy doesn't actually get cut, because if he does, then I'm going to have to be the one that steps up.
Thankfully, the younger man stays out of reach. Meanwhile, as the police approach, Sergeant Hewitt gets another update about the knife and the direction the men are taking.
One of them swung a knife at the other one, which obviously gets my heart racing a bit, but yeah, it's really good to get that kind of update so I know exactly where they are.
As the two men become aware that the police are arriving, they decide to call it. Now this is where the camera operator and any other eyewitness can prove to be invaluable. Because as Sergeant Mike Hewitt is pulling up in his police van, the man in the white vest tries to get rid of the knife. He gives it to the woman he's with, who then ditches it through a grating at the side of a building. Both men then claim their innocence and have no knowledge of a knife. But the truth is relayed to Sergeant Hewitt via the camera operator and by the cyclist Sebastian.
I felt that I had an obligation to sort of stay and tell them what happened, and I saw where the lady put the knife.
Mike Hewitt arrests the men.
Put him in the back of the van and get him to the police station where we can ask him some further questions about what's gone on.
Now to find the knife. Mike's fellow officer gets the task of retrieving it from the old building.
So my colleague gets in, had to crawl through the crypt, I believe, and came out covered in cobwebs and dust and all sorts. But we did locate the knife in the room. It's a lovely view. I'll move away from the grate because my colleague has recovered the knife.
Bingo. And all this video footage the camera operator's been recording has one more use, as evidence in court. The man in the white vest is convicted of threatening a person in a public place with a knife and is sentenced to 8 months in jail.
It was a really good result, and I think shows that the CCTV is fantastic for initially identifying an offence has occurred and identifying the offenders, and then in conjunction with the witness we can achieve successful prosecutions.